Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my co-host Veronique Arsenault. Good afternoon, Vero.
It is me, it is you, it is me.
And yes, it's the two of us, and we're going to run the show, and we're going to miss our little Judy girl.
Yes, she had some family stuff to
on.
take care of, so you know, we'll see her when she comes back.
We want to welcome our viewers for tuning in and watching today. We have a great show lined up for you, some really, really great guests. And we're going to start off our show like we always do with this positive quote, thought of the day. And I came up with a little something that I had seen earlier on in the week via Facebook, of course, which is where I pick up most of my quotes. But there's a lot of great different sites out there for inspiration and things like that. And when I come across something that I really, really touches me, I don't just like it, I share it. I want people to know. And my thought and quote of today is, choose to live life in joy. Okay? Life goes by in a blink of an eye. It's too short to live upset, angry, resentful, or ungrateful. If you look for the good, you'll find it. Choose to be happy and to be at peace. Decide that each day is going to be a great day and grab each moment and make the best of it. Refuse to let the negative thoughts take root in your mind, and refuse to let negative people and situations drag you down. Trust your journey and know that if you make a mistake, it's okay. See it as a lesson learned and keep moving forward. Spend less time worrying, more time being grateful for those who love you and all of life's goodness. Choose to live in joy.
That's a lot.
That was a lot.
That's a lot, but
it encompasses everything. I felt like
it's hard sometimes to trust the journey, right?
That's
because when things are difficult, or they didn't go the way you thought that they should go, or you didn't get the promotion you thought you were going to get, it's tough because you're like, but what's wrong with me?
Yeah, what did I do wrong?
Yes.
What could I have done better?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So you have to dust yourself off and just get back on that horse again.
So
find something good of that day.
Well, we're really lucky. We're going to get a man's perspective on it.
That's right. So yes,
Ryan's hanging out with us this afternoon. So Ryan Tracy's going to. So what would you think?
So what did you think of that?
I thought that was a pretty hearty quote.
It is a hearty quote.
I do like quotes. They're pretty inspiring. Well, they can catch you at a time where, like you're saying, you may be facing adversity, or you may be overwhelmed, or whatever. And there's some great quotes out there by some really well-known, reputable people throughout all of time that can suit almost any time in your life, right?
Exactly.
So I do enjoy a lot of quotes, and that was good.
Yes.
It was a hearty
quote.
That's
right.
I like exactly. Do you find it hard though to trust the journey sometimes when things didn't go exactly as you planned?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yes.
I find for myself, I wouldn't. Big advocate for change, I suppose, making things better, and it doesn't come without some resistance. So to keep pushing the envelope and trying to improve things is always difficult, but you have to almost keep that vision, that long-standing goal in mind.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
very true.
That's just it. So yeah, a little quote for our viewers.
Yeah.
It was a busy weekend here in Miramichi. We say that often, but it's so true. This past weekend, we had a number of things that happened. Rib Fest was going on.
It was
ribs as far as the eye can see.
It was all kinds of yum.
It was, and we did have some decent weather. A little chilly, a little bit windy, but they had like large numbers, huge crowds. I seen some of the pictures of the crowds that were down there. And the lines and stuff. But if you were patient enough, I think it paid off for those who...
Well, it was supper for me on Friday night. I went and grabbed a feast and took it home.
Did you?
I did. And my favorite thing is the cornbread.
Oh, yes.
I love the cornbreads. They all had cornbread, but I love the cornbread. So, yeah, I took it home. We had the pulled pork, the chicken, and the ribs.
You're not the first I've heard that the cornbread's a favorite either.
Well, they're the size
really
of a kitten.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, seriously, it's a meal in itself. It's that huge. But it was a little chilly this weekend. But you know what? Miramichiers were hardy.
Wow. And chili.
We didn't pack our sweaters or coats away. They're still around.
Right, that's right. I think it's kind of relative because if you look at the previous 3 or 4 years with the Rib Fest, it's been much worse, right?
It
You're
was.
right.
So
This was the better of them.
Yeah, there was no like freezing rain this year.
No.
Because last year was wicked.
It was brutal.
Dismal. Yeah. I was partaking in the foosball, the human foosball.
Did you try
that? Yeah. So it was
How'd you make
interesting.
out?
It was fun. We were with the Chatham Rotary team, and 3 games. We were 0 for 3.
It wasn't quite your year this year.
No, it wasn't. The team didn't come together.
No,
right?
not quite.
Yeah,
Last year you guys did a little bit better.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So each year it's fun to go into, and I think they get a good amount of teams that participate. And it's neat. If you've never done it or seen it before, it's kind of fun to watch, right? So
no, exactly. Entertaining if nothing else, for sure.
No broken toes this year?
Yeah, not for me.
Okay.
You don't know how any of the other players
it's
made out.
to stretch out, and those that had the longest legs, I think, were the victors. But
Exactly.
Every year, the Rotary Rib Fest is actually a fundraiser for the Rotary Club of Newcastle, and that goes back into our community. So it's every time that somebody does a fundraiser here, just thousands of dollars get poured back into the community. So it's quite amazing to see what volunteers come together and do.
That's right.
But it was great.
It was a great time. Yeah. And if you didn't notice, the river was full of boats.
How could you not notice?
all week long leading up to this weekend, there was boats in the river and people standing in the water. And then come the weekend, it was insane. I'm not gonna lie. I'm such a gawker, and when I drive, I probably shouldn't do that. But driving to work was an issue Saturday morning.
Tell people that.
I know, but it was like I kept turning my head because the boats and everything. It was just so awesome and amazing to see. And I drive down the river and over the bridge to get to work, and I was like almost like worried that I was like, oh, geez, I'm not even looking at the road.
Do you fish?
I don't. Just being the industry I'm in, I don't get a lot of time.
Yeah,
but I'd love to. I know the salmon fishing is quite a sport.
Yep.
And then I know the bass is really taking over too because you catch so many and they're huge, right?
The pictures I was seeing all weekend on Facebook, of course, and they did a little differently this year. So they had the individual and the family division open from May 1st until the weekend.
That's why the boats were in the water before.
People have been here visiting. We live just down on Schooner Point, and there's cabins down there for rent. They've been full for most of the month of May, and when you see all these boats and everything, it's quite amazing how this tournament has evolved.
We're getting people from far, far away.
Well, they're really here, and they're buying gas, they're buying groceries, they're eating in our restaurants, they're staying in our hotels. Like it's really there was hundreds of people.
Yeah. The numbers, I had asked a few people, and I wasn't really sure. Usually they quote the amount of boats, and I don't know if it's 2 or 4 per boat or whatever, but. Yeah, it's impressive, and it's fun to drive around in spring and see things so active, right?
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, everywhere I went,
have you eaten bass? Anybody eaten bass?
No,
I never have.
People rave about it too, right?
They were raving about it. That's why I bring it up. They were like, it is like a haddock. It's light and it's fluffy and it's not fishy tasting. And I'm like, really? If it's that, I haven't come across it. Or some of the local restaurants, I think it would be a great idea that during that week they pick it up and serve a special dish.
They would love to, but the regulations don't allow.
Oh, you're not allowed.
Okay.
I was wondering why that doesn't happen.
No,
okay.
I've had a few restaurant owners talk to me about that, but no, unfortunately, the provincial health.
It has to go through a.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's funny. It'll be almost 2 years ago now. I got to be on Backwater Casting, another Rogers show.
Oh yes.
And we went fishing for striped bass.
I remember that.
Yes, it was my.
I remember that little video.
It was my first fishing experience ever. And it was wonderful. I mean, Rick Green is the host, and he was so patient with me because I had never been fishing ever in my life.
And there were no accidents or anything?
No.
No hookings in the
No, I didn't hook myself or anything, no. But it was quite the amazing show to do.
Right.
And because, we're very used to doing live. And
that's right. So it's a recorded show.
Yeah, it's a taped show. So, but, and we were out on the river, and it was October, and it was so beautiful. The weather was fantastic. And I got actually some of the best pictures of the river that I've ever taken. But I don't know that it's something I want to do like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But I loved my experience fishing on that show. Yeah, it was a really it was different. I liked it.
No,
we did a couple of years ago Fins and Skins.
Oh yes, I remember.
Which is like a national show. It was on TSN. It was fun to be a part of. So Henry Waschuk, who the name is I guess fairly well known, came with a guy, former hockey player Steve Ludwig.
Oh yes.
That so they fished the river, caught some unbelievable fish, and they came in golf too.
Cool.
So it was a fun little segment.
I let my little bass go.
Oh, you were a catch and release
I
kind of girl?
I did because I don't want to know where my food comes from.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
And I wanted him to have a story to go tell his little fishy friends that he the Great Escape, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I let him go.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't,
my land.
and I know that that's ridiculous as an adult because of course I know where my food comes from, but I don't want to look it in the eye when
You've
I'm.
seen
That'll be a
Finding
whole
Nemo
other
a couple
show.
times.
Yes, and I'm
you're-
can't do it. No.
Yeah.
No, that's just it.
Uh-uh.
Other things that happened. Now we had a rerun last week because it was a nice long weekend.
Yes.
And the royal wedding happened that weekend. It was my wedding anniversary too.
Oh, there
30
you go.
years.
Very special day.
Yes. And so yes,
Oh yeah.
Harry
Yes.
and Meghan
Yes.
got married.
They did.
At 9 a.m.
Yeah.
England time.
Well, I think by the time they,
Was it?
I think it was like 11 by the time they.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
The guests had to arrive by 9.
Oh, right. Had to
Yeah,
arrive by
yeah,
9
yeah.
and things like that. But for us here, it was 5 a.m.-ish when it's all started kind of thing. So if you were up for it, I decided to catch just the highlights when they just put it all together, which was great.
Well, and it's funny because, I got some flack for saying on our last show that I was not going to watch the royal wedding.
Oh.
So a few, as I was out and about shopping for groceries, a few people said, "What do you mean?" So
Was it the couple themselves that called?
yes, they were very
You're not gonna watch this?
highly offended that I was
Harry
not tuning in.
called you out. He texted
Yes,
you, didn't
he
he?
did. He did. It was fabulous. It was a highlight of my day. But anyway, so what I did was I PVR'd it
Okay.
and then fast forwarded through a lot of it.
Yes.
And
exactly.
but I did watch,
That's just it.
the whole.
There was a lot of people, I'd have to say, because when I first tuned in to watch the highlights and then people's comments on Facebook, people are pretty open and pretty opinionated
People are
about
not
what
nice.
they thought
People are not nice.
she should have looked like and should have wore. And my only thing, I thought everything was gorgeous and beautiful. I'm in the beauty industry, so I wanted to watch and see all of the dress, the hair, the makeup, all of that. And I am going to say this, and if Harry sees it, he can call me up himself. I really wish he had a haircut.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Like just tidied up. It didn't have
Oh, I
to be
didn't
short,
notice.
but I thought it should have been a little more groomed. I get it with the little bit of facial hair that it's an in thing and they're all doing that. I don't mind that if it's groomed properly, but I thought the hair was just a bit on the bushy side, and I thought,
Well, you know what I found, which is kind of odd, and royal wedding. You're thinking
Yeah.
like all these fabulous dresses and outfits, and I was a little underwhelmed. I thought the bride looked beautiful. I didn't,
Yes.
I thought
Yeah.
she was, because you know what, she was so classically beautiful. So there was nothing to take away from her, and
Yeah.
that's what I liked about it.
yeah.
But I like all the guests. I kind of expected like a little more,
Yeah.
a little oomph.
I would have to say that Victoria Beckham, nothing against her, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman, but I felt like she was dressed more for a funeral with the dark navy blue and the full, and the fact that she doesn't smile.
Well, that's her look. That's her look.
I know that. But the
That's
red
her
shoes,
thing.
I love the red shoes with it. There was a couple of people who wore quite dark and wore the black, and I thought, and I know it's a little more acceptable than it used to be, but I was
I
just,
don't know. If I were going to a royal wedding, I'd.
I would just take
Dang
it,
it.
knock it right out of the park.
Yeah.
I wish I could jump in and participate more in the conversation, but
What would you have worn?
I flipped it on for about 5 minutes, just in the morning or whatever. And one thing I found funny was, and maybe some highlights, but there was the way the church was set up. I guess it was kind of a 90-degree turn where you had to walk down the aisle. So I'm thinking, okay, if you go and you're invited to attend and watch from the first segment, but you can't see where they're actually getting married.
Right.
So you're sitting down and then you
And
can
you're
maybe
watching it on
hear
TV.
it. Yeah, you're watching it
Yeah,
on TV.
that's what they were doing.
So you're
Yeah.
so close. And I guess you wouldn't turn down an invitation, but
No.
you'd
But
want
you're right.
any wedding
Yeah.
you go to, you normally see the
Yeah.
ceremony, right?
Yes.
So-
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I'd have to say the other thing that I was impressed with was putting the two different, the priest and the pastor together. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I did. And I know I'm not going to get this right because I don't remember his name right offhand, but he gave an amazing sermon. He was only supposed to be like 2 minutes, and he might have been like 6 or 7, but
well,
it
he's
was
like,
fabulous.
dang it, I'm at the royal wedding. I am taking my shot.
Pretty passionate.
No, it was. And you could see by the looks on the faces of the guests that some people were a little taken back by it, but I thought, you know what I mean? That it was beautiful, and it was amazing that all of that can come together with the different ethnicities and stuff like that. I think it's going to be, I think they're going to make beautiful babies.
Well, I hope
he's a ginger and she's got.
I hope they have a wonderful life together. Yeah. You know, he's had a hard life, and it's hard to say that. You
he
know,
lost
someone
his mom
who was
so
born
young.
to privilege, but he's had a hard life.
Yeah,
you know?
I love the pictures that I'm noticing on Facebook. There's it must be a page that I like, Audrey Loves Paris, and they've been doing up sketches of Diana and her 2 daughter-in-laws.
Oh yes, yeah, I've seen it.
Beautiful, of what they would have stood like had she been there and holding hands in the dresses. I really love them, and we miss her.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's a heavy burden too. I mean to have to carry the legacy of Diana, you know, that's a heavy burden for anybody.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably, I don't know, to go through as a child and have some fumbles or you know learning
regular
opportunities.
Life.
Well, right. I mean, it's a little more relatable,
and
then it probably makes them appreciate or understand their position and role more as they grow. So as they age. Yeah.
No.
We had a very exciting thing happen last night though. The Acadie Bathurst Teton won the Memorial Cup. First time.
Okay,
so this is probably a field I'm a little more well versed in.
I was like, are we talking hockey?
Yes.
I'm sorry if that offends anybody.
No, it's all good. But I mean, they've had a great season. Like let's be honest. So it was exciting to see, you know, them. They played in the tournament for the last few days, and then to beat the host team in the finals and to bring home the Memorial Cup. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, first time ever.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. I think the team's been around for almost 30 years or so. So it's remarkable, and a lot of the other junior teams that play in more heavily populated areas, like London Knights or something like that, they're more competitive from year to year. So it just proves that, well, I guess what a triumph it is for them to win, right?
Yeah, and I think I believe St. John had won it once before.
Yeah, they won 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, so it's the second time it's coming home to New Brunswick, but it's amazing that it's you know that it's. I think I saw yesterday. One of the posts, or this morning, one of the posts was it's the smallest market in the country.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all. And I think that team really had gone through some struggles with ownership, and you know, for I don't know how many the arena would fit, maybe 3,000 or so, but to expect a full crowd or close to it for every game they have would be tough, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So the upswing they've had and the participation and fan participation, it's really enlightening, and it's nice.
It's awesome.
Congratulations to them. That was fantastic.
Well, and I think we're looking for a parade now when they come back.
Yeah,
they will.
Exactly.
They will.
That's just it. Well, we're going to take a short break, and actually, Ryan's going to stay with us. He is from the Miramichi Golf and Country Club, and he's going to be talking to us about what's happening there. And believe it or not, it's National Golf Day tomorrow. Did you know that? We'll be back after the break. Don't go away. And welcome back to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch, and Veronique is with me, and Ryan is with us as well. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Again.
We're still hanging out.
Yes, he's still hanging out.
I know we didn't scare him off in our first segment.
No, that's right. He didn't make a run for it.
Well, I felt pretty privileged because you said there's not too many men that
You're
have
right.
opened it
no,
out. So
allowed too many men to be part of our quick chat portion.
I don't know
of
if it's
the
just
show.
timing or it's pretty tough to fill in for Judy.
Well, it is for anybody.
Exactly. You're here today from the Miramichi Golf and Country Club to fill us all in and tell us how are things going, because 'tis the season, right?
Yeah, right.
You're up and running and open?
And the winter that we had, I think people were expecting really late opening and poor conditions and everything, but It's probably the best we've opened as far as golf conditions go, maybe ever.
Okay.
And a lot of that has to do with our normal, like we'll say, winter practice and our staff.
Because I would think you'd do things through the winter to
make
it less work
put it
for
to
the
bed.
spring?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whether your typical lawn treatment between fertilizing and aerating and all that sort of stuff. But this year we actually cover all our greens, and this year we've covered half of them with straw for the winter.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a bit of a different tactic, maybe kind of more traditional. But then the ice and the water can't really pool as well as, say, normal tarps.
Right.
Okay.
So it seemed to have worked out well. And
nice.
we open, and it's always a great shot or video when there's snow all around the green and we uncover them, like late March, and we see them mowing the grass because it's so fertile. Yeah, it's almost like a little greenhouse when we uncover, and it's so green, so lush, like it's July.
Really?
And yeah.
Oh, for goodness sakes,
I
I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Because I like your page on Facebook, so I did see them uncovering that, and I thought, well, that can't be right now.
Yeah.
It must have been because
I Facebook Lived it this year just for the video to show, because you're right. I mean, maybe people think it's later or whatever, but
that's right.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work. Our crew goes through a lot of work uncovering late March because we still have a ton of snow.
Well, this year,
Yeah, well, exactly.
We had snow until like last week, pretty much.
Yeah. And it went quick. We hopped pretty much from winter right into summer, and for the last 2 weeks, we've almost been too dry on our course.
Really?
So
did you open up on the day you wanted to, or earlier or later than last year?
It's funny. We always do a contest like the first week of January, and I throw it out there saying, okay, guess what day we're going to open, and then you may win a prize or whatever. And I think a lot of people at that point thought, well, early January, we haven't had that bad of winter. Let's go April 15th, right?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
But then as soon as March hits, they're probably thinking, oh, it's going to be...
what a horrible guess that was.
June 15th or something. But ended up we were May 11th, which is probably not quite a week later than normal.
Oh, okay.
So not too bad. And like I said, it's nice when we open and we're, ready to hit the ground running. So.
Yeah.
So Audrey said in the last segment that tomorrow's National Golf Day.
Yeah, it's a new initiative. The governing bodies of the game are trying to create this to almost lobby to Parliament, saying golf does so many good things. I think it's perceived, and we were chatting about it more as an elitist game, or just for white collar or anything like that. But it's come a long way. We're definitely trying to get more women in the game. Not so much.
It is a lot more popular, I feel like. More people are talking about it and have a greater interest in it, not just the men, the white collar.
Everybody I know golfs.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And sure, it is male dominated, but I think the more we push that it is really social and that the golf's almost secondary, that the social segment of it is really the most popular, that I think it'll really take stride and become more popular.
See, I only golf like probably maybe 3 times a year, typically in a charity tournament.
Never done it.
In a
never,
best ball.
ever done it.
Yeah.
Well, you're right, and those tournaments are really popular, and we put on some great ones, from the Hospital Foundation to Scotty Knowles tournament, and there are a lot of monies that are raised for charity for golf events. I forget what the number is, but it's really an astronomical amount, which is great, right? So there's that, and then the other numbers or stats they're trying to put out to show what a great industry it is are the amount of jobs it creates. And there's over 300,000 people that actually work in the golf industry in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, one way or another.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing.
So,
yeah.
That's
really
amazing.
Yeah.
So you've never been golfing?
I literally have never stepped foot on a golf green.
You've
So I
never
tell you what
green?
Yeah.
Is it golf green?
I tell you what you
yes,
have to do.
Uh-oh.
So you go and get a lesson.
Okay.
Okay, you need the lesson.
Okay.
You go and get a lesson or 2 or 3.
I don't think they make golf clubs short enough to me.
They do.
For me, my wingspan is really short.
There are Ryan Teller.
My wife's
just
about
imagine
5'1" or so,
swinging.
and she's got a set, and
Like I'm really close to the ground, really.
But if that's the only excuse, and you're it's too bad.
So okay,
you
so
would think it would be easier for
the
me.
next charity tournament that comes, Judy and I and Audrey, and we'll find a 4th. We'll come golf.
You need 4 people for a team. Can I just drive the golf cart?
No, you have to golf.
Okay.
You have to golf.
No Facebook Live though.
We'll find a real good golfer to be on our team.
Yeah.
So that their ball is always the best ball.
Yes.
And then we'll
you'll have to get a ringer. We'll have to pay a ringer to be on our team. Is that what it is?
Audrey and I and Judy will come the next time.
People often joke too, I don't know if I should say this, that it's the only place you can drink and drive, right?
Yeah.
Because,
okay.
in the golf cart,
Yes.
that is part of it, right? So like you're saying, people have a blast just driving the cart around, and actually we're trying to get more people to accompany people to play, because really if you just come and drive the cart around while someone else is playing, chances are you're going to hit a putt. Or next time you come, you're going to play a hole. Or then a tournament, you know? So I think it's one way to get people
I've done it on the Wii. Does that count?
No.
No. The Wii. Remember the Wii? You actually have to hold the thing and you have to swing. I'm really good on the
mini putting
Wii.
too, right? I've been to Maury's, you know?
Which is fantastic, but not quite the same.
No, exactly.
So I want to know when you're going to get the hovercraft golf carts.
Oh, you've seen that, eh?
I have, I'm like, I want to drive one of those.
That's unbelievable. So there's a professional golfer, Bubba Watson.
Okay.
And, unique name, first of all. And he's designed this car. I don't think he uses it that often, but it is pretty much a hovercraft. Goes over land or water. And it goes fast. And, it's so light, I don't think it really damages anything.
No, that's just it. I would think it would be less damaging than an actual golf cart.
Yeah, exactly, right. You know and maybe safer, too. But, geez, these days there's everything from carts or hovercrafts, bikes. People are taking around bikes.
Really?
Put your bag on the back of a bike and...
Because it's a lot of walking, right?
Well, that's the health aspect.
Right. No, exercise. If you were to play 18 holes, if you're not going too much side to side,
looking for the ball.
Because I do love being outside. I love the fresh air. I love the sun. I love all of that aspect. So you'd never catch me out there if it wasn't nice enough to be out there doing it. I can't imagine. But tell us a little bit of what you notice or what you see with the golf industry itself. Like the strides that it's making. Yeah, well, I know the industry is always trying to get expose the game to new people, and they've gone to, there's golf in schools now, and we have, whether it's kids coming to us or us going to their schools and participating with them to introduce them to it. Oh, nice.
Because I guess it starts with the grassroots level, with the kids, right? And there's so many other sports they play that if you can get them early, then you'll have a chance.
Going into the school, that's an excellent idea, actually. That makes a lot of sense, because not everybody's a soccer player or, all the other sports that the school themselves puts through. It's nice to introduce them to.
So you have to have, and there's proper equipment you can do, whether it's in the winter in the gym, kind of tennis balls and plastic clubs and things like that, at least to get them started. But it's such a great game for so many different levels. We mentioned you can start the game at almost any age. I've taught lessons to people just starting in their 70s. And if you want to stay active, it's very social as well. Those are the biggest things they're trying to impress upon people. But there's already about 1 in 6 people that play golf, right? Which is a lot.
Those are good numbers.
Now it's not every day, but it's a few tournaments a year, or it's 9 holes every other week or something like that. So for a country that has only a climate for 5-6 months of play, it's really impressive how many people play.
So how long is the course open till typically?
6 months. Here, 6 months. The best parts of Canada, obviously, a little bit longer, but no, it's... And then we at the club have a fairly busy social calendar as well for non-golf events.
Right.
Within our clubhouse, which is enormous and really historic as well. Weddings, we were talking about.
It's beautiful in there.
Yeah, we just had our first one on Saturday.
It's not that I haven't been there. I've been in the building.
Whether it's for someone's wedding or Walter McDonald event, which is a big one we put on in November. So we're happy to be a big community player with the events as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you've got Mulligan's downstairs.
That's right, a restaurant that has always been there, but it's only been open every day, well, seasonal, but every day for 2 years now.
Okay.
Right. So, but the menu is strong, and I think anyone that's been that may think of it as a restaurant instead of us just a golf course has been impressed. Yeah, it's a neat spot.
Yeah, we've been to a couple of events. My Pie had their first trivia night there. That was a wild night. We had a great time.
Right.
Great time, and I was on the MoPie team. So MyPie, for anybody that doesn't know what that is Miramichi Young Professionals and Involved Entrepreneurs. So.
But that's not the team you were on.
No, we were on the MoPie. So Miramichi Old Professionals and Involved Entrepreneurs. And so the first one that we went to, we lost quite badly. The first trivia night, we came in last.
Oh,
MoPie.
okay.
But we redeemed ourselves at the next one.
Oh, did you?
We did. We came in 4th the next time.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
That's not bad.
There were more than 4 teams, just so you know.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. Now, when it comes to golfing and compared to other sports, what are we talking money? How much does it cost? The shoes, the clubs, the membership? Like, how does someone ease into that to see if that's something they like without...
I got a great set of previously enjoyed clubs for not very much money.
Okay.
That's how I started.
You can, like a lot of other sports or recreational things, you can you know, when you go camping, you could just use a tent, or you could use a $1 million home if you wanted to. You know, so same thing with golf. Our green fees are fairly reasonable, especially if you want to go at a quieter time, like in the evenings. Okay. So twilight golf, 9 holes is about $20, $25.
So it is less expensive during the less peak times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cheaper than a movie.
Well, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the best part about it is if you're not a golfer, just going to the driving range is a great way to learn the game. Okay. So you can come and get a medium bucket and a few clubs for $10.
Oh, because I was going to say, I'm like, you're talking about bringing me with you, and I'm like, or go doing an event. What would I do if I don't own anything? So there's stuff you can rent stuff there.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, some others would equate it to maybe skiing or something like that as well. And there are courses where you can, if you want, you know, enjoy better conditions and spend more. We're kind of in the middle. It's nice that there aren't any other courses in town, so you know we have that market. But we have a lot of members as well. There's probably 400 members or more at the course.
Okay. And it's every age, as you said.
Yeah. We have lately we're getting more intermediate members, which are say 19 to 39. Okay. Yeah. For a town that you know is dominated really by a senior market, which we you know have a large amount of, but they range too, whether it's from 55 to 80, 85. So
is there different categories to join? Like there's the men's group, or there's an age. You know what I mean? I keep wondering, is there leagues, or how does that all work?
Well, once you are a member, there's lots of opportunities for engagement to play in different leagues. We have a ladies league, men's league, but from member classifications, we have some different ones. One I'm really proud of.
I might get really good, you know.
Yes, of course you
exactly. Exactly. It's neat in that for our club, the members own the club too. So when you buy into the membership, you're buying a share. So you have some say as to how the club operates, and we have a lot of volunteers too. So.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
You've done a lot of renovations in the last couple of years.
We have, not only in the golf course, but in the clubhouse as well. It was much needed for such a historical building. There's a lot of upkeep, right? So whether it's a new roof or inside, we've had a lot of the chairs. We get a lot of comments on, and whether it's for functions or weddings, a lot of them love that. So, but we love to reinvest back into the club, and being nonprofit, being member owned, everything does go back into the club, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. Cool. The family membership, actually, I should touch on that. Because we're talking about different membership classifications. So this one allows weekend play after 2 o'clock. And a family of 4 could come out and say they're not used to playing the game. They could join for $500, and the 4 of them can play every weekend for the season.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's very cool, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then they're together as a family.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah, we're trying to expose the game that way too.
Yeah. So you just go and you rent the little things that you need, and you go play. Now, what about? Is there, like, when you have a gym membership, you sort of have a free person who shows you how to use the equipment?
Yeah.
Do I have one of those?
Personal trainer?
A personal trainer. But do I have someone who's going to, because what if you don't really know the game? Mind you, I'm going to take a lesson.
We do have lesson and clinic opportunities. Actually, we have some starting tomorrow. There's we call it Get Golf Ready, where it's 5 weeks.
Get Golf Ready.
I saw that.
Okay, Get Golf Ready. I like that.
And it goes, like we said, 5 weeks. Seems to be, we have mostly women that are joining that, which is great because, I don't know, maybe they just want to learn more than men do. Yeah. But I think, starting tomorrow for 3 different sessions, we have over 30 joining that. So, yeah, and they're pretty much all new to the game.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah. A lot of exciting things happening over
there. I know, and you know what, I do enjoy when the few times that I do golf every year, I do enjoy it because it's very much social. And so you have a lot of laughs, and I mean, typically my balls end up in the woods.
Wherever.
Typically. But I'm okay with that.
Do you have to go get that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Yes, you go get them.
Because you paid for them, you want to.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? But the other thing is that, but then there's those moments where I was golfing. I think it was last year in a tournament with somebody, and for the first time, mine was the best ball. So they hit from there, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most exciting. It wasn't, but it was the most exciting moment that I had. And then a couple of times I got to sink a putt, and so you get better, as you go. And I think, when it's beautiful outside, there's nothing better than spending, a couple of hours on the golf course.
So now there's different kinds of golf clubs and the different kinds of hitters, correct me with my lingo for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Now the balls, is that the same idea? They're different weights, they're different whatever?
Not
or is
really. Geez,
depends.
it's amazing how scientific golf has gotten.
Well, I feel like when I watch the professionals play,
Yeah.
it's too high tech for someone like me.
Everybody has a favorite type of ball, though, right? Like either a brand or...
Yeah, most do, not unlike...
That would be the same as running sneakers, whether it's Nike
exactly.
or
That's what
whether
I was
it's
just
along
thinking.
that line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, right. So it's, or your favorite car or whatever. There's
Okay.
brands that people enjoy more. But companies have done such a good job in diversifying and offering to every different golfer out there. So there's clubs out there that will help, the beginner more than the advanced player. And I feel like, geez, golf has been strides ahead of, hockey or baseball or whatever as far as technology goes for a long time.
Okay.
Maybe because it is such a booming industry. You're beginner golfer, you might have 3 clubs in your bag, but you're actually allowed up to 14. So by the rules of golf, but the rules have become.
I was going to say, I didn't know
count what's in my bag.
Yeah. 27
only
clubs in
I
here.
do.
Why would that be a rule?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it the weight of the bag is too heavy and it's you're gonna...
For the caddies? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Sure, go with that,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
Ryan, how do we get a hold of the golf club?
Yes.
Well, geez, we're all over social media with our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have some great videos on YouTube. Our website is pretty dynamic. There's a lot of changing material on there. That's miramishigolfclub.ca. And then, of course, by phone. So there's lots of different ways.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us today,
Thanks for
Ryan,
having me.
keeping
It's
us
always a
all
blast.
filled in. We'll see you on the golf course.
I'll
We
hold
are
you to
coming.
it.
We are
I'll hold you
coming.
to
She's
it.
going to drag me. I
Yes,
can feel
we are
it.
coming.
No
Again,
stilettos.
thank you. No, I know, right?
No, they don't like
We'll
those.
be right back after the break. And we're back with more Have a Chat. Joining us now are our next guests, Debbie McKinley and Kim Napke. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. Now, you're here to talk to us about something very special, workplace charitable campaign, I believe. And first, we're going to start with you, Debbie, and tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
So my name is Deborah McKinley. I'm one of the senior managers at the Pay Center. I'm also the co-champion for the Government of Canada Workplace Charitable Campaign, along with my 2 co-chairs, Veganik Arsenault and Kimberly Napke.
Yes, I was involved.
And we have a full committee. We did very well last year, and we're looking forward to this year.
Yeah. And Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kimberly Napke, and I'm from Miramichi. I'm currently working at the Pay Center as a compensation advisor. And have lived here in Miramichi all my life. Charity is very near and dear to my heart, so that's why I've become involved in the charitable campaign with the workplace. And we've had an awesome 7 months with our 2017 campaign. So pretty exciting stuff.
Well, you guys put on a big deal.
Yeah,
It
Kim
was
and I got to
huge.
be co-coordinators last year in 2017. So it was a first for both of us, and we were new to the Pay Center. Well, I was a little newer than Kim was at the time, but the charitable campaign is actually something that happens across the country.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's been happening for years, and so every year in the fall, September to December-ish, employees of the federal government raise money for charity.
Okay.
And so, for us, it was an exciting time, but it was also a really amazing time, and entirely because of the Pay Center employees.
So the government, the government organization puts a group together within that, like the Pay Center, and they pick and choose who wants to do it, or do they look for people to do it?
We do call-outs, but
Okay.
also people can approach you and say, I'd be very interested in being
And
part of
being
that committee.
Okay.
The campaign, through this campaign, the federal public servants can contribute to various charities, either through payroll deductions or through various events that we've had.
Nice.
Yeah, and Kim was the brains behind most of our
so you have to come up with what you're specifically going to do for the fundraiser. You come up with it on your own. It's your own ideas.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and last year was a little, we decided to go a little different. We wanted to pick, you know, a project so the way it works, so when an employee chooses to do a payroll deduction, they can choose a charitable organization anywhere across Canada.
Okay.
Right? So if someone's, you know, is from Alberta and they want to choose the Alberta Food Bank, they can.
Okay.
Right? But they're living here with us.
Right.
Or they can choose an organization that's here. As long as it's a registered charity in Canada, they can choose it for their payroll deduction.
Okay.
And then, but then there's a second piece to that, and that's where Kim and I came in, and Debbie got to be, was our champion, so she really guided us last year into what we were doing. But Kim and I decided, and then the committee decided that we really wanted to pick a project in the region that we could have an impact. And then it was very exciting because we did something a little different. We sent out the call out to the staff to vote on where they wanted the money to go.
So the staff decided exactly which charity, so we call it the charity of choice. And last year it was the Children's Wish Foundation.
Oh, yes.
Which was near and dear to our hearts as well.
And local, not the national campaign, but local.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Local as in Miramichi or New Brunswick?
Children from the Miramichi will benefit from this money for Children's Wish.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And last year our goal was $50,000 between the payroll deductions and the events, and we raised over $83,000, so we were really, really pleased. And over $26,000 went to the Wish Foundation.
That's amazing.
Locally.
That is just stunning. So what are you going to do for your next? I'm like,
well, it's good
okay.
that you
Oh, there's so much.
Well,
we do
top that.
we kind of bring it together with the local charities and decide. We contacted individual charities this year to see what they were doing, what their projects were. Then we presented those charities to the staff. And they decided what they wanted to support this year. And this year they've chosen the Miramichi Food Bank.
Yes.
So we're very excited about the food bank. We were there. We did a little video and talked to the coordinator there, and we're very pumped about helping the food bank because there sure is a lot of need.
No, there is. I find with the food bank itself, it seems like they have such high highs and such low lows.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where some charities they can get through all of that, but with the food bank sometimes it's down. You know.
Well, they have a little over 600 families that use the food bank
it
now, and that's up from a few years ago. They were at 400 a couple of years ago, so it's a little over 600 families now. But you know, it's amazing though when the community comes together.
I know. And
the Pay Center is really a community, and the employees that are at the Pay Center are part of our community as a whole, and the impact that they've been able to have over the last number of years, because last year was not the first year for the GCWCC campaign here in Miramichi. No. It's been around since the Pay Center came in 2012.
Okay.
But we had a fantastic committee, and I know Debbie, you have the list of who was on the committee last year, and it continues to grow.
Yeah. Well, how many employees are we talking? We're talking.
Are we up there? I mean, it's several hundred. Yeah, several hundred here.
Yeah.
And locally, those employees, when the call for interest went out, we had a very basic committee that looked after it last year.
Right.
So as we went, we were in a few different buildings, so that added a little bit of complexities to the campaign because we wanted to be fair and equitable to everybody, to offer all of the same opportunities to purchase tickets or participate in the bake sale or whatever it was. And we had representatives from every building, which made it great because we were able to have key people in each site to facilitate and to not.
And that would be in your best interest.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
To do so.
Yeah, especially given the size of the geographical locations of all the buildings, it can be a challenge.
It would be.
I
would think it would be.
We had lots of support and lots of help, so it was a wonderful.
Now, this committee that you put together, will it be the same crowd, or can you change it out? And those who would be interested to.
We had 7 committee members last year, and we're already up to 15.
Oh, okay. You're letting the committee grow as big as it needs. Hey, more hands,
It's an evolving.
More hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
somebody
exactly.
wants to try
Some comes
something
in,
else.
someone
They
wants
can,
to,
feel free. They can give as much time to it as they feel they can give to it. There's no commitment of you have to do so many hours a week or anything like that. It's what you feel you can do. So
it's
no pressure.
It's a volunteer.
Yes,
that's right.
For us,
exactly.
and for all the committee, it's not. you know, it's you volunteer your time.
And they all have new, fresh ideas for events. So we had some new events last year, so we had very positive feedback on the events that we chose.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit. I'm just going by memory. Was there a video or
Yes.
something that went with that? I'm like trying to go with that. That
Yeah.
you guys created.
Yeah.
Was that part of it?
Yeah,
Because it was quite clever.
Yeah,
Yes,
we had a good time.
it was.
Because we have you know, a large staff, and there was an all-staff meeting, they call it, in the fall, just before Christmas.
Right.
And so we wanted to present, you know, the campaign itself, how well it was doing at that time. We weren't done at that time, but how well they were doing, and really to thank all of the Pay Center staff for because they were donating time, they were donating goods, they were donating money. They were like, it was amazing. And Kim and I, you know, would be out selling tickets, and people were just, you know, they were so generous, you know, and because they knew that it would impact the community around them, and they were truly invested in being part of the community. And a lot of our employees come from the community, so
that's right.
So we pulled together a video last year and presented it at the all staff. And then we were at Carrefour Beausoleil, so the children from the daycare program came out at the end of the video and had little signs that said thank you.
Right.
But if you've ever worked with children, small, young children, it's like herding kittens.
That's right. Yeah, not cattle, kittens.
Yeah, kittens, and they're
different
cute.
thing.
And they're cute, but it was, anyway, we had a great time with it, and it all worked out the way it was supposed to. So.
Yeah, that's just it. So what's on deck? What are we doing?
So for this year, we, like they said, our charity of choice is the food bank.
Right.
So we're looking with our new committee members, new events. We're going.
So that's all in the works.
Yes.
Is it?
So usually the campaign runs in the fall, but this year we've decided to do it throughout the year so that we could have events throughout the year to raise money for the food bank, so that it's not consolidated and just happening between 3 or 4 months in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
the
that's
frenzy of the fall.
Yeah.
The frenzy.
So this will help us raise more money.
Spread it out.
So yeah, it'll be easier for everybody.
It won't seem like so much work all at once.
Exactly.
Right.
No. And our goal is to involve everybody. So we just completed what we called a Create a Basket campaign.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Create a basket.
Create a basket, which challenges all of the teams to donate something towards a team basket.
Okay.
So everybody's bringing something in for the basket. Then we display the baskets to each building from those buildings. But actually everybody gets to decide, you know, where they want, like which basket they would like to win. So they would purchase tickets.
Right.
And then they would be able to put them in little bags in front of the baskets. And at the very end, we had a draw at the Victoria building, which is the new building, the main building. And, you know, we had over 100 people there that were very actively involved and watching the ticket draws and lots of winners of great
people
baskets.
were so creative.
Yes.
Like there was, you know, barbecues, like hibachi barbecues, or fire pits, and then, or there was like, you know, gift certificates to local meat places that you could, like, and like the baskets were huge.
I was going to say, I'm like, oh, that's a little bigger than any basket I was thinking in my head.
They were fantastic.
It's like, a team challenge, and what we added this year was the team that had the most ticket sales won a pizza lunch.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay.
That was fun.
So that was an incentive, but they're very challenged.
Oh yeah.
And creative.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But people got really excited right from the beginning last year, and
They do.
yeah. And Kim and I have been really lucky to work with some amazing people, and we've been lucky to have Debbie because, you know, it's very different when you're working within government, right? To navigate and get permissions and, you know, do all the things that you need to do.
Yeah, the rules and the regulations to how it's all done. Because I would imagine that the people that are on your committee that are coming up, ooh, let's do this, or ooh, let's do that. Then it's like, okay, but are we allowed to do this?
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Are we allowed to do that? And different things like that. Are you coming across any ideas that you can share with us that maybe you haven't heard before that are unique?
We've got one coming up.
Ooh.
We do. Well, we have the Blue Jays ticket sales right now. We're doing on a package to go.
You're going to send me to the Blue
game.
Jays?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, we are, yeah.
Okay.
So we have some guys on the committee, and they thought, you know, maybe we were offering enough for the guys. So we
Yes.
thought for Father's Day, we would do a Blue Jays package. So that's something that we're doing right now. That's new for us.
Yeah.
We have a dessert auction coming up at the end of May. So every few weeks we try to do something different. We've sold cupcakes. We've had harvest sales. We've done all kinds of different things. Our mainstay, though, is a Catch the Ace. The Government of Canada does provide a Catch the Ace. We're able to do that. So it's very similar to Chase the Ace.
Right.
And we do it every week.
We just catch it.
We just catch it instead, yeah. No, we do it every week, and we've been able to give back to the employees with that, you know, and a few $1,000s.
So you're selling all these little different, just clarify me, because this is what I'm understanding, that all the little different events that you're having and baskets and the ticket sales and the money that you're bringing in are from the employees only.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
It's not the general public that can get in on these.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, but think about
Thanks for
but
clearing
think about
that.
how amazing that is, though.
I mean, you have a lot of employees.
Yes.
We
so
do, but if you
do.
think about it, so and all of the events that we did last year and the payroll deductions and everything, so that was raised by all that money. So that $83,000
Yes.
was raised by our Pay Center employees. And that's just what they did at work, because they all are involved in things at home and in their personal life where they're donating.
Yeah,
and
the kids are selling cookies.
Yes.
Or,
So, you know,
they all have all these
just
other
in
things.
that,
This is you guys,
Yeah.
this particular workplace that work for the government. Yes.
Yeah, so it's quite amazing that you know that much would go back into the community here. And I didn't know before I started working for the Pay Center that that's been going on for years.
So how did you get champion? How did that all happen?
We were asked, and I think I'll let you guys explain how you guys were chosen.
Well, for the two of us, they put out a call of interest.
Yes.
Okay.
And to all of the employees, and so you had to express your interest and why you thought you would be the right person.
Okay.
And so and luckily they picked two of us, and we got to work together. Kim and I didn't know each other before then.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. So we got to know each other very quickly. We spent a lot of time together, and we were lucky enough. And then the more we got out there, and the more that Debbie, you know, talked it up with senior management and everything, then the more we got other employees involved that wanted to participate.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now, do you guys is there like an awards type banquet for
very
all
good
the
question.
different? I'm
Sure,
like,
I forgot about that.
well, I'm
one.
trying
me
to think.
too,
I'm
I
like,
forgot.
so yeah, because I would think like you guys have a committee, and then so do other government.
Yeah, that's right.
So
You're right.
I would think there would be an incentive or an awards banquet for who did the best job this year?
So that's very true. Kimberly and I went to Moncton for the award ceremony for its. It was really fun to go to, and we weren't
New
sure
Brunswick
what.
and PEI.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were there, and they were going through the top 10 people and groups, and we came in third at $83,000.
No, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just like,
The
ooh.
Pension Center came in second with a little over 85, and the Department of Fisheries and Oceans came in first. With 87,000.
So not a huge
not a
difference.
huge
Yes.
We were there.
difference.
We were
You
very
were like, yeah,
So
exactly.
we have
That's a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we're very excited, and hopefully this year our objective will be maybe the healthy challenge to be number one.
Yes,
I think it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a goal.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Definitely,
goal, for
most
sure.
definitely. So do you guys have a set number that you're aiming for this year, or?
We are at the initial discussions. We haven't
Okay.
confirmed yet, so
Okay.
that has to be confirmed.
Right,
Yeah,
that,
we're
that you
looking-
actually put a number
Yes.
down on paper,
Yes. Oh,
yes.
and that's
And
what you
commit
set
to.
to do.
Yes.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's still in the works.
Yes.
That's still
Yes.
in the
It is.
talks.
Yeah. Well, we're ahead of the game
Yes.
as a committee, because typically it runs from September till December.
True. And you guys initially are deciding to do it now. Will other,
They
because
could.
that's open if they wanted to.
They
This
could.
is when it is,
Yes.
but you can start as early as you want.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's an advantage.
The actual
especially-
payroll deduction campaign is in the fall.
Right.
So for
Okay.
payroll
So you
deductions,
can't change that.
no.
No.
So it's
Okay.
so we do it in the fall, and your payroll deduction starts in January and ends the following December.
Oh,
So
okay.
the payroll deductions are for a year,
Yeah.
and they can contribute that way, or they can actually do a
See, I've
cash
never
donation.
heard of that.
See, every 2 weeks,
So
so
what
I
is that
pick my
exactly?
charities. Every 2 weeks, I pick my charities when I filled out my form,
Okay.
and then every 2
So
weeks.
not every employee has to do this.
No,
this is
it's
a form that
everything's
they would-
voluntary.
Okay.
And so every 2
Okay.
weeks, because I picked my charities at the in the fall,
Okay.
and I filled out the form. So then off my pay automatically comes
Yeah.
the donation to my charities of choice.
And
Okay.
you choose your donation.
Yeah. So and it can be, as I said, any registered charity across the country.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
health partner.
fantastic.
Or health
can
partner.
pick
Yeah.
health
Or
partner as
health
Well, we
partner.
want to thank you, Kim, and thank you, Debbie, for joining us today and filling us all in on everything that you guys are doing with the charitable campaign. And we wish you great luck. And thank you for watching us here at Have a Chat. Until next week, we'll see you again. Bye.